Alright, what's up guys? My name is Ryan. I'm a photographer here in Orlando. Today I'm just going to go over my gear. This is my first video ever, so bear with me. I'm going to start doing some vlogs. I love to travel. I have a Volkswagen Jetta Sport Wagon, and I actually sleep in the back of it with an air mattress. But anyway, what I mostly do is portrait work. I've shot DJs, I do studio work here in my apartment. I've done events here and there. I'm starting to get into landscape, but portrait is really what I love the most. And then I'm starting to get into video, as you can see by the drone. I have a DJI Osmo Mobile 2, and I'm going to start getting more video equipment because I'm trying to get more serious and bring some of my knowledge with the photography stuff over into the video world. I think I'm going to try to pick up the Osmo Pocket. That thing is really a badass little package. I work in a camera store during the day, and I've sold a few of those actually. They're just such a powerful little tool in such a small package. It's very easy to use, and it's something that I feel I would be comfortable with walking around, talking to it, instead of using an Osmo Mobile 2, which is ginormous, let's be real. So yeah, today I'm just going to go over some of my gear that I use, go over what I like about it, what I don't like, my future plans, and then I'll probably talk a little bit about the future of this channel, where I want to go with this, what my goals in life are, and kind of the structure of what I'm going to be doing in terms of videos. So let's get started. My bread and butter, this is my baby right here. This is my Canon 6D. Funny story, I used to live in Atlanta and I got robbed. They broke into my house and took my TV, took my laptop, all my old camera stuff. I had a T6S at that point. I had a bunch of old film stuff that was passed down to me from my dad, and I lost everything. So basically, I took that insurance money, thank God I had insurance, bought a 6D and this Tamron 2470-28. I'll go over that in a second. But I love this thing. It's full frame. It got me into the full frame game. I have a ProMaster. Excuse me, I have allergies and I have cats. I got a ProMaster battery grip. Not as good quality as the Canon grip, obviously. It is a third-party grip. It gets the job done. I've had zero issues with it. I've never ever run out of battery with it. Honestly, I don't even know if I need it. I just like how it feels in my hand. And I look more professional, which is always kind of fun in your head, if not an ego-driven thing. I've taken lots of pictures with this guy. I've done studio work, I've done events, out and about, really everything. This thing is such a just absolute tank. I've kept it in good condition, but I'm never scared bringing this thing out into the field. Just an absolute beast. I love this thing. This is what really got me going. So yeah, and you know, it's just a 16 Mark 1. There's nothing too crazy about it. It's just such a great camera. It's good if you're trying to start. You want to get into a full frame camera, but you don't necessarily want to get a 5D Mark 4 or even a 5D Mark 3. This thing is going to put out almost, basically the same level of picture as the Mark 3, but you're not paying that rich person tax. So basically all the differences between the 6D and the 5D Mark 3 is just kind of stuff. It's just numbers. People love to get into numbers with cameras, and it's just something that is used to sell those cameras to rich enthusiasts, basically. And that's not to knock the 5D Mark 3. It's a great camera. But, is it really worth that price difference? You can get these things used for a deal now. I bought this one new used for something like, I think it was $1,000, but it was new stock from Canon they sent out. And what was the 5D Mark III new? Like a couple grand, probably, something like that, crazy. Probably $3, I don't know. I wasn't that into cameras when that one was out and about. But anyway, if you're trying to get into full frame photography, you're starting to get serious, and maybe you've been shooting with a Rebel, maybe you've been shooting with whatever, I think the 6D is just an absolute steal. Moving on, let's go. And also, this doesn't have a body cap on it. I know people are going to probably yell at me, This is such an old camera, I'll go over in a second. It basically is just sitting on my shelf just in case something goes bad and I need a camera, but that's really not something that's serious. Anyway, this is my 70. I actually picked this one up, I think 3 days ago. I went to a little swap meet here in Orlando. It was the Orlando Camera Club, and I met this really nice lady, and she had this thing sitting out. I had been looking for one because I liked the combo of the professional body, the attractive price used, the rate of fire. So this is twice as fast as my 60 is. It still has a pretty good sensor. It is crop, so you do lose a little bit of field of view, but you gain some zoom, which is always nice. And I wanted this as my second body. And so I had been looking around. I found one for $350. I found a couple for $550. It was still kind of out of my price range. I literally walk into the swap meet, not even a minute in, and I walk up to my first table after I signed in. This thing was sitting there with a box, with a memory card, with a dual harness, literally everything that I needed, $225. I mean, this thing was an absolute steal. Looks absolutely brand new on the outside. Not a single issue at all. 50,000 shutter actuations, which for 70 is really not a big deal. These things are rated for 150 plus, just like any other professional bodies. It shoots good pictures. I'll put some up. I don't know where I'm gonna put them. I might cut all the way to it. I'm still fresh to Premiere. But basically, I shot this in a nightclub the other day. Pictures came out stunning. I think I was running 400 ISO, something around there. I was keeping the shutter fairly high. I was shooting a DJ. She was playing, it's like some newfangled form of dubstep. I don't know what she calls it. She doesn't like the term dubstep. Basically, it's one of those bass heavier EDM genres out of all of the genres there are. Yeah, so I had a flash set up with some triggers. Behind her, I had me on the other side shooting her, all the lights going from the DJ set, and I mean, these pictures came out beautiful. I know a lot of people have complained about this sensor. I have no issues with it at all. I haven't shot with it that often, obviously, but I look forward to shooting with this. It's gonna hang on my hip with my 6D with that harness. Pictures still look great. I'll put up a couple more just so you can see them. But yeah, I mean, this with my 6D, and I feel very comfortable. I can put on 2 different lenses. I get a little bit more reach. I don't have a 70-200 yet, but I definitely plan on getting one very near in the future. I'm probably gonna throw that one onto this guy and put something like the 2470 on the 60, or maybe like a prime of some sort for shooting weddings, events, that sort of deal. But I really look forward to shooting this camera. I've only shot it once out in the field, but I love it so far. And I also threw Magic Lantern on it, which I can go into more detail at some point. But basically, I don't take a lot of video yet, but when I do, the Magic Lantern will help. It has cool manual focus features, and it actually helped me in the club with the little live focus. I had it up in the air, focusing on the DJ. I'll put that shot up right now, and that was a great little video. So, all right, so moving on. Here's my 10D. Like I said before, this thing, I got it for free. So basically, I was working in my store, and we do trade-ins there. It's Colonial Photo and Hobby in Orlando. Definitely come by and check me out if you're around town. I can help you out with any sort of issues, any questions you have. I can get you all the latest gear. We even have a D5 there, so we have basically a little bit of everything. But anyway, I was working there the other day. I had a very nice lady come in. She wanted to trade up and get something easier. This had been sitting on her shelf for a long time, and she wanted to go with more of a point shoot kind of bridge camera. And so, I took this back into the back, let my manager look at it for a trade-in, and he said there's no value. The hot shoe is damaged on the top. It had been dropped or something, I'm not certain. Basically, she didn't want to just throw it away. I said I would take it. So here I am with the 10D. It's old. It shoots not the best pictures ever, but this is honestly, what I use this for, when I go out and I'm shooting with someone and I'm trying to show them the ropes of photography and they don't necessarily have a DSLR, I will, if I know them, I'll either let them use my 7D is what I'm planning on doing, or I'll just throw them this 10D. I honestly don't care if this thing explodes. It was free. It's old. I got a free CF card. Who even uses CF cards anymore? It was a 2 GB card. It's nothing special. It fits all my lenses. It has all the creative modes. You can shoot manual, aperture priority. You can learn basically everything you need to know about photography, especially if you're just getting into it. So this is kind of like becoming my little teacher camera. So yeah, if you're in the Orlando area and you want to learn some photography stuff, definitely hit me up. I have pretty reasonable rates. We'll go out and hit the lake, we'll go out and hit downtown, we can do some street photography. I will let you borrow lenses, I'll put this guy on a strap, we'll hook it up, get you started, get you into the world of photography. Alright, now we're going to move on to my lenses. I'm going to start with, obviously everyone starts with an 1855. I started my whole business with an old T3. This was a long time ago, and I wasn't really a business back then. Now I have an LLC and I'm actually licensed and all that mess. But, you know, I started out with a T3, 1855, took great pictures. Well, not great pictures, decent pictures. Anyway, I took okay pictures. I was learning how to use the camera, learning how it all worked. And I started with car photography, automotive. I went to car meets and all that kind of stuff. Took pictures of my old Miata and all that. But the first lens I bought was this. This is the Nifty 50. This is the 50mm 1.8. I'm sure if you've ever gotten any bit into photography, you know what this lens is. It's $120. It's a 1.8 aperture. It's lightweight. It's plasticky. It's not supposed to be robust. But this is just an absolutely incredible lens. Every time someone comes to me and wants to know what they need to do to step up their photography game, and I ask them and they are shooting with a kit, 50 1.8. It's really a no-brainer. It teaches you how to walk around and not just zoom. It teaches you a little bit about focal length. Gives you that great aperture. Gives you some of that nice background blur and that bokeh that you see. It makes you feel like you're, you know, actually making progress. That 1855 is great for someone that's just getting into it and learning and, you know, doesn't want to shell out money. So, I mean, basically anyone getting into it. Great lens. It's built for a purpose. It's good for its purpose. It's not incredible. It's not going to get you those crazy pictures that you see on Instagram. This is the next step that way. So I love this thing. Every time I go and shoot street photography or just want something light, easy to use, this is definitely the lens that I pick up and put on my camera. I'll run my 6D or my 7D, mostly my 6D though. I'll put on my little Peak Design hand strap. It's called the clutch. I'll go over that in a minute. But no battery grip on there. 50mm Peak Design little grip. And I'll just walk around downtown and put it up and just pop pictures. You kind of figure out what this view looks like through the camera. You know how it feels. You know how it's going to respond. And this is my go-to. I just want to go out and take pictures lens. This is definitely the one. So if you are just starting out with photography, all you have is your kit lens. You're running a Rebel. You're running a D3500, a D5600, whatever you're running. Go out and buy yourself a 50mm. You could probably get one used for not even anything. Go out and buy one of these, play with it, learn it, and it's really going to elevate your game in a huge way. Moving on. Alright, so the next lens I'm going to talk about, and the next one that I purchased, like I said earlier, when I got robbed, I got all that insurance money. So I went out and bought the 6D, and I bought this big boy. This is the Tamron 24-70 2.8. I've really had no issues with this lens. I know some people like to stick with Canon, but one of the benefits of this lens over the Canon is it has stabilization built into the lens. So I shoot this in the club, I shoot this in events. This is like my little workhorse of a lens. You can get some slow slow shots in the club and it still comes out looking good. Obviously, if there's movement in the frame, it's gonna come out a little bit blurry. But I mean, you can almost use that on purpose to get some really cool effects. I know you've probably seen some pictures of someone in the club and they use that second curtain flash. So you're getting that slow movement, you're leaving that shutter open, you're getting that movement and then pop the flash at the end. And because of the stabilization, that last frame is gonna be nice and crispy. And so that just really, enables you to get a lot more artistic shots. And also, if you just want to shoot like a normal looking shot, you can still get some great stuff with this lens. One of the downsides, it's heavy. Like, it's really heavy. Like, this is easily my heaviest lens by a very large margin. And I mean, this thing, I have run my wrist strap with this before, my little clutch thing. Not fun. This is not really a lens that you're gonna wanna. Yeah, this is a heavy, heavy lens. This is not something that you're gonna want to put on a wrist strap. You're not gonna want to hand hold this thing without using an actual shoulder strap. It's gonna tire you out. But man, it takes good pictures. It's still sharp. I don't know if I would say that it's as sharp as the Canon. I haven't used it. I've heard really good things about the Mark II 24-70. But I mean, this thing really outputs some great images. I'll put some up now from some of my older club days. I mean, if you look at this one here, beautiful, beautiful light. I'm using my 430 EX3 in this picture. Just nice soft skin, very crisp, very nice. I don't know if you start, zooming into the pixels if you're gonna see the same performance you get out of the Canon, but I really have no complaints. This is a great workhorse of a lens, and I really like putting it on. It gives me that flexibility. I don't go with a prime, and they still look good. All right, moving on to the next lens. I like this one. I'm not really in love. This is my 17-40 L lens. It's an f4. I'm sure you've heard of it. This is the lightest L lens I think that Canon has, and it's also one of the oldest. It's good. It takes great pictures. I use it for real estate stuff. I'll pop up a couple pictures here, but I use it for real estate. It's good. It's also fun to get some really wide-angle, unique shots, which is something that I'm not used to. I'm so used to shooting at telephoto or kind of the normal range that when I put this on my camera, I really have to change how I think, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I am learning more about photography. I'm learning different viewpoints and how to look at things. And like, I'll put one up here. I shot with my 7D. There's a cool Coke bottle. It's kind of trash. Not the picture. But it's a picture of trash. It's a different perspective. I had it on my 7D. I was testing out the auto HDR feature on the Magic Lantern. It's a cool feature. It's definitely going to help me for real estate. I don't know if I'm going to use it that much outside of that. It does make the pictures look kind of odd sharp, which I don't know if I like. You see all those pictures of the blown out HDR crap. That's not really my style. It is cool to just change your perspective with this lens though, and it's light. It weighs probably the same as a prime. So I don't mind throwing this on. It's kind of a fun, if I want to go out and be creative kind of lens, I'll definitely put this one on. It still gets me a somewhat normal range in terms of the 40 at the far end, especially on the 7D with the crop. But that 17 millimeters on a full frame is wide. And obviously it's not one of the super crazy wides, but it's wide enough to be getting distortion and really being able to play around with what your images look like. Here's my kitty. His name's Forrest. Alright, one more thing I wanted to point out real quick before I get to my last lens. I'm filming this with my my Galaxy S9 Plus. It's sitting on a tripod. It's dark in here. I only have one umbrella. I don't really have constant lights because I shoot my speed lights for my portrait sessions. But anyway, I don't know if this is going to come out in focus. I don't know if it's gonna look grainy as hell. Just bear with me. I'm gonna have better video equipment. I'm probably gonna start filming on my 6D, because that's really the best that I have right now in terms of video stuff. But I wanted to show you everything now, so I am filming on my Galaxy. So just bear with me on the quality. It's gonna get better. Don't worry. Moving on to my last lens. This is my baby. This right here, this is my favorite lens. This is my 85-180. And I know a lot of people like chasing aperture. So they'd be like, oh, you need the 85-1.4 or whatever. You need the 1.2. I think there's a 1.2. If not, I'm gonna look stupid. But I'm pretty sure there's a 1.2. I don't really chase aperture that much. Yes, I am a nerd for aperture with primes. I also realize that I'm still in the beginning stages of my photography career. I don't need $1,000 prime lens. I don't need a 51.2 for what I'm doing. This 1.8 is plenty in the studio. If you're shooting a 1.4 or 1.2 in a studio, you're doing something wrong. Like, the blur coming off of someone's face, right off of their eye, sometimes if they're turned just a smidge, it's just blown out of proportion. It's like stupid amounts of blur, and there's no point. So this 1.8, it's incredibly sharp, beautiful focal length, great blur when I need it to blur. Really, this, I mean, I take almost every single portrait I have through this lens. This or my 50, really. I've done some on the 24-70. I don't necessarily like, it seems to perform kind of weird with my studio lights. And again, I think this came down to me still learning studio lighting at this point. So I'll put up a couple pictures here. So right here is a picture with the 24-70, and then this guy right here, that's with my 85. And so I'm sure you can see the difference. It's pretty phenomenal. Like I said, I'm still learning studio lighting to this day. I don't have a hair light behind me right now because I just don't have one. And I don't have a second light. I just have this guy. So I'm gonna expand. The channel's gonna grow as I grow, whatever. But I mean, this lens is stupid. It really is, and it's only $400. It's a steal, like for real. It's crazy. Another quick side note, I have really bad ADHD, so I'm gonna try my best when I'm talking on this vlog and my channel to stay on track. If I bounce around like a kid chasing a squirrel, that's just me. So prepare yourself. Second to last, before I get to my gimbal, this is my DJI Mavic Air. I've taken some good little clips of me flying it around. I like landscape stuff. I'm not very good at it. It is something fun. It's kind of like a hobby to me. I don't know. I'm gonna get better. I'm studying for my license now. Right now I just kind of mess around with it. I've got some good stills. Like here's Wakaiva Springs. So you can see it gets good shots. It's not, I mean, it falls right on its face in the dark, but you're not going to be filming in the dark anyway with a drone. Really good quality. It's fast, very easy to fly. It's scary at first, but once you get past that initial fear, I mean, this thing is just, it's incredible. It feels like flying a Porsche. I mean, I haven't driven a Porsche, but I would assume that's what it feels like. I'm gonna start doing real estate stuff with this once I'm licensed. I'm going to do travel video with it, travel stills. So you're gonna see a lot more of this guy on the channel. I'm excited to really break this out and really break it in. And yeah, just produce some really good content. All right. Moving on, this is my DJI Osmo Mobile 2. I mentioned this earlier. I really like this thing with a key point. I hate setting this thing up. It's easy. It's just time consuming. When you're on the field, and I know obviously like once you start getting into more professional stuff, it takes time to set things up. It works great. I get incredible footage. Here's a little video of me shuffling. I also shuffle, in case you guys don't know what that is. It's an EDM type of dance, basically to like techno, house music, that kind of thing. But it took this video right here, really crazy quality in terms of stabilization. And with the Galaxy S9 Plus, it looks great on Instagram. I don't know how it's gonna look blown up on YouTube. You're about to, I mean, you just saw it, so you can be the judge. But I mean, once you have this thing set up, it's fast. The stabilization, I have had zero issues. It takes really pretty shots. Very easy to use. The app is nice for like motion time lapse, like this right here. It's just, I mean, it's $140. I mean, if you want to get in a video and you don't want to buy a camera and you want it to look like you know what you're doing, pick one of these up. $140. You can use your cell phone. I'm sure almost all of you have the new iPhone, the new Galaxy, the new whatever it is. They all have good cameras now. It's obviously not going to hold a candle to a legitimate camera, but that stabilization really adds something special. So definitely pick this guy up. Alright guys, that concludes this first video of mine. I hope you enjoyed it. I will definitely be more refined as time goes along. Thank you for bearing with me through. I'm sure I had focusing issues. I'm sure there's some noise on the video. The lighting is terrible. My backdrop is way too skinny for this. I had to crop way in. But I actually really enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun. I hope to educate some of you in the future. You know, show you some cool dancing videos of mine, showing me travel around, enjoy my film camera, and really, you know, I hope to build this into a community where we all learn together, all have a good time. I'm going to try to adventure and bring all you guys along with me, and I'm really excited for this. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I don't know if it was me being nervous, scared. You know, there's always tons of barriers up for us to make these big jumps in life, and it really, you just gotta sit down and do it. So here I am in my apartment with a backdrop on a pop-up table from Walmart, a backdrop behind me that's too skinny, one umbrella that was $15 on Amazon, and I'm just doing it. So thanks for watching. Like the video if you liked it. I'm gonna do that like, comment, subscribe thing. Hope to see you guys around. I'm going to be posting dance videos, gear reviews, little photo adventures, shuffle tutorials, camera tutorials. So I'm gonna channel it all out, put it into little playlists, and I'm excited for the future. See you around next time.